It was a big weekend for the Kentucky roster as Mark Pope brings in a player, and it's announced that BG is coming back for another year playing for the Kentucky Wildcats. We'll talk about all this. We'll talk about Lamar Wilkerson and everything that went on this weekend on today's episode of the Wildcats Today podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, publisher over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined as always by Carson Nash. Carson, how we doing? It's a Monday. Tomorrow's a fun day. It's tax day, my favorite day of the year. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's a nice day outside. It's almost 80 degrees. So we're getting a preview of summertime a little bit today. So that's always exciting. But hopefully we can continue that weather throughout the week. I don't think it's going to be that way. But yeah, I'm doing good on this Monday. Excited for a new Croatian sensation.
Exactly. So go ahead and tell us about him, Carson, because you're really good at saying his name first.
Yeah, Andrew didn't want to go first on the name today.
No part
Andrija Jelavic out of Croatia. He played for Mega Baymax. Yeah, it's a foreign team. It's a pro team. So he's been in a pro organization for a little while now, and he's a stud. His averages he had double digits in 15 of his 23 games so far this season. 10.8 points per game, 7.4 rebounds a game, 1.4 assists per game. So, I mean, his stats are good. It'll be interesting to see how the competition is compared to the college game. A lot of people are a little skeptical on foreign competition, but the league he's been in has had former college guys all throughout their league. So I think the competition he's playing against is pretty good. So I'm really excited for this guy.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. I think Jelavic is going to be a good player for us. But on top of that, I mean, this is the same league that Nikola Jokic played in. This is the same league that Nikola Topic played in. I mean, there's some legitimate NBA players that have played on this team. And, Jelavic is a guy that, Big Z, he was more of a mystery. There's going to be the comparisons. They're going to happen. That's just the reality. And there are similarities, in all honesty, between these two players. I think that Jelavic is a little bit better when it comes to defense, and he's a little bit, he's not going to get dunked on as much.
He looks way more physical.
Exactly.
Way more physical.
So I think that is definitely something that I noticed with Jelavic. I think that he is better in that aspect, but this is a good commitment. And I mean, knowing that we aren't going to land Fulgaris, which for those of you that watched last episode, I think I posted it. And then within 10 minutes, it was announced Fulgaris is no longer in Kentucky. Yeah. What was it the other day that happened? It was something. We got like a commit or something.
I forget. Yeah, I forget. I think, it was maybe Mo Diabate. That's what it was.
That's what it was. Yeah, we posted the episode. Right after we posted. Yeah, Mo Diabate commits like an hour later. So we're on a hot streak. So if I'm a betting man, the time you all are watching this, I bet Lamar Wilkerson's already committed or something nuts, like half an hour after you posted. But, so yeah, I think that the film on this guy, there's going to be questions. I mean, but we've seen European players come over and succeed in college, of course, in the NBA. But I mean, he is the definition of a European big man. He can dribble, he can run the floor, he can shoot, he can rebound, he can block shots, he can pass. He is an all-around player, which is what the Europeans are breeding their big men to do. So I love the film on Jelavic, and I think that he's going to come in here and be a great player. Now, Carson, my question for you about him is, where in this front court does he mix into the conversation when it comes to, do you think he's a 4 or 5? Because I think he's another guy that could kind of float both ways. We've got a lot of 4s and 5s that can play both spots. Honestly, I think Mo D's more of a 4. I don't know. I mean, he can defend the 5 a little bit, but he's more of a 4. And Moreno's a pretty natural 5. I think besides that, everyone else in this front court can float back and forth between the 4 and 5. So where do you kind of see his role with this front court definitely being, I think it's done now. We have our front court. What does it look like next year? What will his role look like?
Yeah, I think I see him as more of a 4 for us. I mean, yeah, like you said, you can play him at the 5 as well, which that's what I love, that we have Quaitons, Garrison, Jelavic, and Moreno, that you can kind of, I mean, Moreno's probably more of your just straight 5, but all those, and Diabate as well, you can throw him in the front court as well. all those guys can kind of play multiple positions,
Yeah.
which is exciting and definitely what you want out of your front court. But I see him more as a 4-piece for us, and it's going to be kind of him and Quains are. I like it because they can both initiate the offense. But he's a really good post scorer, and that post fade of his is lethal. And at 6'11" with the 7'2" wingspan, being able to shoot over top of people, he's going to be an issue.
He is, and I think that's what I like most about him when comparing his game to Big Z. I mean, we saw it that last year at Arkansas, and I mean, we make these comparisons because I think it's when's the last time we got a 7-foot Croatian kid? Well, 2 years ago, and it was Big Z. So I think the comparisons, and the reason I think that Jelavic will end up being better than Big Z, and it'll be interesting to see Big Z with his brother over there at Illinois. That's going to be fun to pay attention to. But I think
the thing that pops out on paper that's just the first like glance difference from Big Z is he's a way better ball handler.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, he is. He's a better ball handler. But I think, and I know that we want our forwards to be point forwards. We want them all to be able to handle the ball. It's part of the mark-up system. But at the same time, I care more about what the guys can do down low when it comes to post moves. And I think that Jelavic is going to be really good around the rim. I mean, if you watch Big Z play, or, even last year's, like, I think that Jelavic, I think he can be even better down low than Carr was last year. He's got that length. He's, I think, a little quicker. I think he's more quick twitched. I think you're right. He's a better ball handler. I think that he can be the perfect 4 that we anticipated Carr to be last year. And Carr was great, but I think this kid can be better. I mean, there's a reason he's like one of the top international prospects that he's considering college. I mean, he's the real deal. He can be an NBA player. It's not even a question. So I think it's a great addition, but I mean, this will all be the same conversation, Carson, but kind of moving on to BG a little bit, this all goes hand in hand. How now do you think he works into this rotation?
Yeah, well, I like this because how we argued the other day. I see BG as more of a 5 because I think his defensive upside is higher than a couple of these guys. I mean, Quaintance has the highest, but I think BG is probably second in defensive upside just because of his athleticism. Yeah. So I think him as a 5 role and going to be more of your banger down low type of guy, and then occasionally pop out and hit a 3 ball. That's what I like BG as. I see Jelavic as more of a shooter, so I think BG in a steady 5 role, and that's what I like. So I'm happy this is what we got. We got what I wanted.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that BG has a really that the NBA upside that he possesses is there as well. I mean, all of our front court has tremendous NBA upside. Even Diobate as a guy, if he continues to improve his shooting, he's the guy that can be a 7-year come off the bench guy in the NBA. I mean, he's got that upside, and that's great to see. But this is what's going to be interesting, and this is what I wanted. I wanted more competition in that front court. And now bringing in a player like Jelavic makes that happen. This is all I wanted. I think a lot of people, Carson, thought that you and I were trying to push BG out. It's not what we wanted. What we wanted was more competition in that front court. And I think that Jelavic brings exactly that. Quaintance to me is a no doubt starter. And I think if you don't get Jelavic, personally, I bet they would have run BG and Quaintance as your 2 starting forwards. I now think personally, and this is debatable, and this will be a conversation we have over the next 4, 5, 6 months. I think your starting forwards are going to be Jelavic and Quaintance. I think that. So this is where it gets interesting. Whose playing time does it then affect? Because now it's a competition, basically between Diobate, Moreno, Garrison. In all honesty, all 5 of these guys, except for Quaintance, is the surefire. He's in there. Those other 4 guys are competing for minutes. And it's going to be interesting to see who wins that battle. It could be BG, it could be Moreno, it could be Diobate, it could be Jelavic. And I think they're all going to play every single game, but who's going to get the bulk of those minutes will be decided this offseason. And I think it's going to be a fun competition.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree with you. It's never a bad thing to have competition. Yeah. Never a bad thing to have that many extra bodies on your front court, because you know how foul troubles and injuries always seem to hurt us. So having that many bodies that can all be productive is very, very exciting.
Yeah. But that's what I'm so fired up about with this front court now. I felt like we were one piece away. It's why we wanted Fulgaris. I think that Jelavic is, to me, I think he's the perfect Fulgaris-esque addition. Now, Fulgaris has played in college, but once again, he was at Robert Morris. If Fulgaris put up those numbers at a Big Ten school or an SEC school, I would have for sure wanted Fulgaris over Jelavic. But to me, Fulgaris is a great player. I think he's going to have a great season wherever he ends up going. He hasn't committed yet, has he? I don't think he has.
He hasn't committed. No, he's still doing his visits.
So wherever he ends up going, Fulgaris is going to be a darn good player.
The difference, in my opinion, too, between these two guys is this dude's going to be a 21-year-old freshman. So even if you don't get as much as you like out of him this season, you got years to mold him.
Exactly. Yeah, he can stick around. Now, obviously, in this new world of college basketball, he could leave at any given point in any given day and make a move. But I think at the same time, I think that he's going to have a kind of impact where he's going to be great this year. I think that he is going to end up being an NBA player. I'm not sure if it's after this year. I think it'd be tough knowing he's got a lot of great players he's got to beat out. So
I see him as a 2-year piece, probably. And I saw an NBA scout on Twitter say, a foreign scout say that if you're thinking college production, think of Grant Nelson from Alabama. And I know that's kind of funny along the lines that we were talking. We're like a better version of Andrew Carr. What did we say during the season? We're like, Grant Nelson is just a better version of Andrew Carr. Yeah. Every time we played Bama, we're like, we're going to lose that matchup because he's just a better version of Andrew Carr. So the upside of this kid is very, very exciting.
But, I mean, think about pairing Jaden Quaintance with a Grant Nelson-esque player. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. And then you've literally got the Alabama 4 position because you've literally got Diabate behind them. Yeah. So, I mean, you've got exactly what Alabama was running out there at the 4 next year, and they were a darn good team. And I think that you're going to see Jelavic improve on the defensive end of the floor. He's lengthy. He can swat shots, but I think
he's athletic.
Defense. Yeah, exactly. And athletes can defend. So I loved this addition. I think these players are taking over the NBA, and there's a reason why, and I think bring them over here. Bring as many of them over to play college ball for us as you want to. I'm all for that. I think that he's going to be a great player for us. I think he starts at our 4. I really do. Because I think they would either run. We need another forward. We need another one. So, I mean, there were some people, and that was part of our thing is we're not saying we want BG to go, but we want another forward in this room. And I'm glad we got one. And I think we got one that's going to come in and compete for a starting role. So, but the rotation.
And I know a lot of people might have disagree with that in the comments because they're going to say Mo D didn't come over here to sit the bench. But at the same time, I think if we want to get to where we want to be, I think he needs to be your starter because he provides the extra passing and things. He gets to the rim as well. Like he can put the ball on the ground and get to the basket and create points. So I am really, really high on this guy.
But I mean, people forget too. I mean, Mo D, I think there's 2 things in that because I've seen a lot of folks comment he didn't come here to come off the bench, and I get what you're saying, but my rebuttal to that would be, listen, like I think we're forgetting who we are as Kentucky. Maybe players want to come play at Kentucky. You know what I mean? Like in all honesty, I mean. I think we're going to start getting back to that where players would like to just come play because this is the University of Kentucky. I mean, Mo Diabate is a great basketball player, but I'm just telling you this right now. What he does, the player he is the perfect player to come off your bench and play 18 minutes. That's what he needs to be. He is the literal definition of the scrappy dog that's going to come in there and he's going to give you 7 rebounds. He's going to play 16, 17 minutes. He's going to get you about 6, 7, 8 points, 6, 7, 8 rebounds, a block, a couple steals. He's going to draw some charges. He's going to take some tough fouls. He's going to do that kind of stuff. He's going to be that gritty player that comes off the bench and is just the what's the something? Is it garbage? Scrapyard dog, whatever, you know what I mean? Like he's that type. There's a song.
Junkyard dog.
Junkyard dog. Thank you. Like he's that type of player. He just comes in and he does that kind of stuff. He's not, to me, a player that in Mark Pope's system makes a ton of sense as a 27, 28 minutes a game player. He's a 15, 16, 17 minutes a game player in the system, and he will do all of the things that we did not do last year. Rebound, hustle, defend. He will do all those things at a high level.
Make threes.
and he can shoot the ball. Once again, he only shot 26 last year, but he made a lot of them. I mean, if he wants
when
to
he was open, he knocked him down. So
exactly,
like, you can't leave him.
us even. So I love the addition of Diabate, but I never thought that he was going to be a starter. And I think that this addition right here proves that point. I don't see him starting over Jelavic. I think Jelavic is the perfect player to come in and start in the system. I think he is we love Andrew Carr, as you all know. If y'all have been listening to us for a while, you'll know that. But I think that he is a Lamborghini to the, Ford Taurus of Andrew Carr. Like, I think they're the same idea, but he's just way better at the idea. Who Jelavic is compared to Andrew Carr. And I think he's the perfect player to come in and start at R4. But you got to remember this. We're talking about an upgrade there. Then you're talking about Mo Diabate over Ainsley Almanor at your 4. Okay, so like we've got to look at it like that. That's a massive upgrade there as well. That might even be like that might
be like a bigger upgrade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I think that those additions are going to be massive for this basketball team. So Carson, any other thoughts on BG coming back and Jelavic? And we need to talk a little bit about Lamar Wilkerson here in a minute.
No, I'm happy that we kept roster continuity though. I'm really happy that we kept BG and we get to see him progress throughout his career. So that gets me excited, and we get to add another talent. So like win-win. We got
exactly what we wanted.
Yeah,
exactly what we wanted. Because I mean, the only way I would wanted BG to leave is if we were to get another player and he was going to leave. That was the reality. If Fulgaris came here and he wanted to leave, best of luck to you. Mm-hmm. But I mean, we needed more players in our front court. If he didn't want to compete for a spot, let him go. But he does. We got a great power forward to come in and compete in this front court, and he stuck around and he's going to fight. And I respect that and I like that. And that's what 100%. I want to see out of BG. I was really unhappy when he was, they're going to bring somebody in, so I'm going to leave. I'm tired of that in college basketball. But it sounds like that's not, he's back, and I love that. I respect the heck out of him for that, and I think that's going to be good for the future of our program, and I think he's going to have a good season, and we're going to have a great competition in that front court between 5 incredible basketball players that we did not have last season. We didn't have last season, so this is very, very exciting. So
Get me fired up.
Oh, I know. But Lamar Wilkerson at Keeneland yesterday, he was walking the horse and all that, and they were in the winner's circle with Coach Pope, and that was all cool. How do you feel about this? It sounds like he took a visit he already took a visit to Indiana. Sounds like his plans are to head to Auburn unless anything changes here soon. How do you feel? I was texting you and Boff this morning. We were talking about this, but I kind of like how this kid is taking I respect, he's hearing everybody out. That's kind of cool. I don't think it's going to matter. I think he's going to play for Kentucky. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. And, we had heard that maybe his camp was the one that reached out to Kentucky too. So I think him taking that IU visit, not committing on the IU visit, and then he's taking his time. And then you go straight from IU and Bloomington where there's not much going on. And then you get to go and see Keeneland and actually get to walk a horse down the winner's circle. And I mean, me and you enjoy Keeneland a lot. I'm sure Wilkerson did not have a bad time. I know he didn't have a bad time. So I feel pretty good. And yeah, you're right. He's going to see Auburn. I think that's either today or tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then I'm guessing he'll make his choice by the end of the week. I do respect his process and going through and seeing all the visits. I know I would do the same if I was a recruit.
I just think to me, it's the fact of this is what college sports should be. You know what I mean? I'm glad the players are making money to help with themselves, help their families. That's great and everything. But I think that we're losing the ways of college athletics and things like this. You should take your visits. You should go see these universities. And I mean, you see that. How often do you see a player plan 4 visits, go on his first one and commit? And it's just like
all the time.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think it's kind of cool. But I think that he's going to be a Kentucky Wildcat. I think that he is the perfect fit for what we need. We need one shooter. I believe he's the last piece to this roster, Carson. Do you agree with that?
I agree. Yeah. Once we get one shooter, whether it be him or someone, if we'd miss on him, then that's it.
Yeah. But I mean, I think we're going to get him. I think he's the missing. Obviously, we have to return Otega Oweh, and that's There's been radio silence there. I did read somewhere like if he's not in the top 30, he's come back to college, and he is not going to be in the top 30. So he's, I think, going to come back to college. But I still want to see that official, obviously, to feel great. But, I mean, I'm just telling you, a starting lineup of Jalen Lowe, Lamar Wilkerson, Otega Owe, Andrija Jelavic, and Jaden Quaintance is a top 3, top 5 team in college basketball. And then knowing that off the bench, you're getting Jasper Johnson 5-star, Malachi Moreno 5-star,
Brandon Garrison 5-star,
Brandon Garrison 5-star,
Mo Diabate 4-star,
great player. Yeah, like you're getting all of these incredible players coming off of the bench for your team. Cam Williams, by the way,
Williams.
I am all in on Cam Williams. If you want to hear a bold prediction, I think that he is it's going to be, I'm not going to say it, but it's going to be damn hard to keep him out of the starting lineup.
I agree. I think Cam Williams,
I don't know where to put him
as my Otega this year.
Huh?
Is my Otega. You know how we said Otega was going to make the biggest leap? I think that's my Cam Williams.
I don't think, because, I mean, he's not obviously going to be overtaking Otega Owe, but, like, can you play him at the 2? He can guard. Pope said he can guard 1 through 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is there a world where he outplays Wilkerson and Johnson and starts at your 2? I think it's a realistic, or you kind of play him at the 3 and have Owe be your 2, whatever. I don't think it really matters. But as we've talked about, the positions don't matter as much in this offense. But is there a world where he works into the starting lineup? Yeah, I think there is. I think that he is going to be a first-round pick in the NBA draft. This kid with that wingspan it's like 7'2", right? His wingspan, something absurd, like 7 foot, as a 6'8" player with his athleticism and length and ability to shoot the basketball. I mean, who's going to be able to, with that wingspan on a 6'8" body, who's going to be able to to contest his shot? No one. Maybe a 7-footer, but I mean, any guard in all of college basketball that's shorter than 6'7" is not going to be able to contest his shot. He'll be able to get every shot he's taking will be open because of how tall he is and how long his wingspan is. So I am very, very excited to see him in this offense. That's going to be my guy heading into the season. I think Cam Williams.
Oh, I'm big on him too. I love him. Yeah. Now I might be all in on this Jelavic guy now because I've always wanted a foreigner to play here, and I think with Pope it's like the perfect piece. It's like the key in the lock. Like it's like this is what we needed.
Now I don't know much about this stuff. Are we going to have any issues with him and eligibility or any of that stuff? I
wouldn't think so. I would hope not.
We also got Big Z like a few months later to where they should be able to get this process done before the season starts. If there is a process, I don't know. They've changed the rules of everything. I have no idea.
Yeah.
It might not be a thing anymore. But hopefully that's not an issue because that is damn annoying when it is an issue. So yeah. But no, I mean BG's back. You go get Andrija Jelavic, who's going to be awesome. I think that he's going to be incredible. I think that our front court now, there's going to be some elite competition within that front court, and it's going to be really exciting because it's going to be, iron sharpening iron for that team, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it play out. So any other thoughts, Carson, before we call that a Monday?
No, but get ready to hear the words platoon.
Kidding.
But yeah, with all the additions we've gotten and all the good ball players, you could see it, but you never know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am with you. That is going to do it for today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, we'd really appreciate that. This week, we'll probably do something later in the week, Thursday, Friday. If we get a player, obviously, we'll put something up that day. But probably Thursday, we'll see y'all again to talk about what's been happening. And once we get, I think, one more shooter, we're going to be fully into off-season lineups and roles and all of these conversations. So stick with us for a fun off season, and that'll obviously lead us up into the season. We'll do football stuff when we get there as well. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we'll see you next time right here on the Wildcats Today podcast.